This right here is that digital notebook that I was talking about. As I'm reading my Head First Java college book, I'm putting my notes in here. So I've got this folder called Head First Java Nice Keep. And I have Open Java right here. This is my main page. Then I've got a folder called Box. And inside there, I've got folders for all the chapters. This book goes up to 15 chapters. Then I have some other things right here that I really got to see if I'm using all of them, because what I'm not using I should get rid of. But anyhow, I'm still working on chapter 4. The only thing that I've got going on for chapter 4 so far are some paint images that I created, diagrams, and I've got the one single video that I just recently posted. When I use my screen recorder, which is Camstudio, free screen recording software that anyone can download from the internet, free open source. It creates my video in an AVI file. So then I have to download this to YouTube, because YouTube will let you grab a conversion, an MP4 file from an AVI, and it's really nice. It's good, decent quality, and it doesn't take too long to do. And this was a rather long video. This was 48 minutes and 57 seconds. Let's see, then I have an introduction MP3, and I use Audacity, which again is a free open source software that you can use to create audio clips. Then I've got these various web pages right here, because each one of these ping files that I created in Paint are going to open up in these particular HTML files. If I right click on one of them, they're relatively short files. The majority of the file has to do with styling in the head, CSS styles. You see here I've styled the body, I've styled a field set, I've got a div that I gave a class of pink, and I've got a bunch of styles that go with that. I've got a legend with a couple styles. I styled by audio tag. I styled by video tag, but I really don't think that that made a difference. It's in here, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it really has an impact. Then I've got a text area where I actually type in notes that has some styles, and I styled my image, any image, the image tag. So any images that use the image tag are going to have that width and height. And that's the end of the head. Very, very short body. There's my div with the class of pink. There's my field set. There's my legend. Here's an audio control and an image. End of field set, end of div, end of body, end of HTML. So if I run this in Firefox, you see this is it's stretching my, it's kind of skewing my image, but when it opens up in the opening page, it doesn't look like that. And I'll show you what the opening page looks like. So basically, I've got this diagram that I created in Paint that talks about, on the left here, how you can kind of jot down. It's kind of like brainstorming. If you want to create a class, an object, you have the name of your object and what kind of things do you want to know about it and what kind of things do you want to do. And then I slid over here and I changed this simple idea into the Java code to make it happen. And then I've got, so this right here was the object, and then this secondary file created a reference variable of this object. This object is song, so song t2 equals new song, and now you can use t2 to grab set artist, set title, play. You can change all of these things by creating the object reference variable. And basically what I'm going to do here, because I created that 48-minute video going over these various diagrams, but to save space and to make each little snippet more individualized so you don't have to sit and watch the whole 48-minute video, I've incorporated each one of these into their own web page, which in my main page that opens, there's going to be a navigation. So we click on these little pieces parts, and this right here I haven't created yet. This is pointing to an old audio snippet But I will basically read what I kind of just told you, what this diagram means, and then you'll have an audio talking about the diagram instead of a video. So it's just another way to discuss the information that takes up less space and also puts it in smaller chunks. Instead of a big long 48-minute video, you're going to just talk about one little thing at a time and click on each one as you want. So if I go out of box and right click my main page here and run it, launch in Firefox, I've used this in videos before, but I did a little bit of tweaking on the navigation, and I've also created a background that looks like wallpaper. Over here, I've got this iframe here that is fixed, and I've got a cover page that I can change any image I want. Currently, I'm still using two of my grandkids. I can change it to put my other grandkids in here. I can make a collage, so I've got all my grandkids, which would be probably the next thing I do because that sounds more fun. The background moves with the scroll bar, and the navigation on the left moves with the scroll bar. If I want this background to be fixed, I can change the style so that it stays fixed with this iframe, but right now I kind of like that it moves with the navigation. It just kind of enhances the fact that this main frame here is fixed and makes it more of the focal point in my opinion. Okay, another thing that I did is if I click on chapter 1, I have this illusion of a button that's popped out, and when you click on it, you get a different color, and then you get an inset. This border right here is outset, so it gives the illusion of a popped out button. When you push it, it gives the illusion of a sunk in button. So this is a border with inset, this is a border with outset. So that kind of made the navigation look kind of neat. And as I changed from chapter to the next chapter, I didn't do a whole lot of changes, but I did change the background color. And sometimes I did something different in the notes, like right here I've got these little text areas where I typed my notes in, you know, just to do something different. Here I styled my audio player with a different color just to mix up the design. And let's see, this one, still, you know, nothing consistent, just farting around with design. Here I was farting around with image links. When you click on this zoo character, it takes you to another page, and you click on the paw print and it takes you back. So you can go back and forth from page to page by clicking on images. Just something to fool around with while I was doing the Java notes itself. Here I did, this is a print screen in Paint of my output. I've got my two Java files here and my command prompt output window. And then down here I have an audio tag that basically explains this. And like I said, instead of a video, because videos take up a lot of space. But this, on the other hand, is a video, 16-minute video. Because when you've got stuff that's a little more complicated, sometimes it's nice to have the video, because with this Camstudio, you can put a highlighter to wherever your cursor is. So as you're talking about a certain part of code, you can, you know, move your mouse back and forth. It's not a perfect world, but it does kind of help direct the viewer's eye to a certain section that you're discussing. And let's see, this right here is just a template. Instead of having a movie that just opens up in the iframe like this, if I want to decorate that template and have a movie with some type of background, this is actually a field set with a legend here. I could put a caption in the legend. I've used like shadowing here. This is putting the movie in its own page and just messing around with CSS. I'm not going to go over all of these. I'm just showing you the different things that I did with my digital notebook. Then we get to chapter 3, and instead of, you know, chapter 1 had this white background when you pushed the list item. Chapter 2, I used this baby blue background for when you push it in. Here I went to pink for chapter 3, and I don't know why I went to pink with these two. I think this was a typo. This should have been this light green color because almost all of my notes here, if I used these text areas to type in my notes and an audio file discussing the notes with this green background and styling my audio tag green, I had this green so that would be consistent. I don't know why it's pink. I'll have to change this inside of the code. But yeah, I had all these different things, combinations of images or text areas in web pages, audio and video variety. And I'm on chapter 4 now, and this is when I started. Yeah, this is where I want to use the pink. I don't want to use the pink up here. I want to use the pink in chapter 4 because I changed that template that I was using. And I just changed a few CSS things so that it would just break it up a little bit, break up the monotony with some visual differentiation, if that's even a word. Um, I don't know. Kind of go with the wallpaper a little bit. And I could always change the wallpaper. I could make a button or something, or a link maybe. No, it would be more of a button that could actually use a JavaScript that every chapter that I go to, I can click it and it would actually change the background color too. Uh, like I said, just to break up the monotony of all of these, video notes or audio notes or whatever. So that's about where I'm at right now. The video that I just did for 48 minutes basically went over all of these diagrams that I made in Paint in one long 48-minute video, where here it's just going to be the image and an audio discussion. I don't know which is better. I'm messing with both because multimedia is fun to me. Making tutorials is fun to me. Somewhere down the line, I'll have a reason to use it other than my own learning and entertainment. But for right now, this is where I am. And I just wanted to show you uh, where I am so far. Not very far, but it's a lot of work, until you really know what you're doing and you have stuff memorized. It's a lot of work, but it's fun and it's creative, and I enjoy it. And hopefully, you might get something out of this, and you might find the interest in web design too. It doesn't have to be to make money for a company. It could be for your own personal enjoyment. There's a whole lot of different things you can do with this, and if you have a little time on your hands and want to learn something new, learn some HTML web design, web development, and then take a programming language and learn the programming language and use your web design skills to create your own digital notebook. It's fun. Time consuming, yeah, but it's fun.